I'm going to introduce Mr. Andrew Chow to you to determine what type of digital storyteller you are in digital marketing. So, he is an entrepreneur, professional speaker, best-selling author, and known to be a pragmatic, visionary, competitive, intuitive, and giving. While he is successful social media and public relations strategist, entrepreneur, and speaker based in Singapore, he is also the best-selling author of highly popular series of book Social Media 247, Public Relations 247, and Personal Branding 247. Andrew has spoken in over 15 countries within 5 years and addressed more than 20,000 people on digital marketing, personal branding, Enneagram, public relations, and branding. He is listed as the top 10 most influential speaker in Singapore in 2013 by the Singapore Business Review. He won the Spirit of Enterprise in 2008 and the Successful Entrepreneur in 2010. Before he served as the President of Asia Professional Speaker in Singapore APSS, he has won the coveted Spirit of Service Award from the industry. So, no further delay, we can call upon Mr. Andrew Chow for giving up the presentation on your personality determines what type of digital storyteller you are in digital marketing. So, hi, Mr. Andrew.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about what kind of digital marketer are you, and it's really about your personality. I have 30 minutes. I'm going to delve straight into it. If you want to ask me more questions, you can always find me on LinkedIn and we can connect. You can ask me more questions. So I want to talk to you about personality. Now, this is a topic seldom discussed in digital marketing. Why do I have to talk about personality? All right, and you understand that if you can read someone, you can read yourself. And when you know yourself, you begin to know why are you doing what you're doing, what is the motivation, and so on and so forth. So I have a few introductory slides. I'm going to just run through it because I'm here for you. You can always check out these slides at your own leisure. This is my LinkedIn, so you can always add me. And I have written a few books. It's already been announced before, so I will go straight into my presentation. I like to play a game with all of you. So I will go to this slide. And okay, maybe I will go to this slide. Now, everyone, can you look at this 9 photograph carefully? Look at it for a while. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. This is what I like you to do. I'm going to do a personality test with all of you. Can you look at every column? So 2, 3, 4 as one column, 5, 6, 7 another column, 8, 9, 1 another column. Pick one photograph or pick one picture that you resonate with. It means you feel that is your personality. Now, please do not choose number 1 just because you like gardening. Okay? Do not choose the activity. Choose the energy behind the picture. So as and when you're ready, please select now. If you're afraid that you'll forget, this is a good time to take out a mobile phone and zoom into the picture and select 3 pictures that best describe you as a person, your personality. All right, so I'm going to give it 30 seconds. Okay, 2, 3, 4, pick 1, 5, 6, 7, pick 1, 8, 9, 1, pick 1. Okay, I'm going to stop in 20 seconds. So, okay, so have you selected? Now, this is the next phase of the instructions. The final 3 that you have selected, please rearrange them in order of priority. So, for example, you may have selected 3, 6, 9, but you feel that 6 is more like you, and 9 is the next on the line, and 3 is last. So, your final number can be 6, 9, 3. Okay. If anybody is lost, you can just join the chat and I will moderate from there. So have you chosen? Now, okay? So it's very important that you choose this because I am going to do my entire talk based on this few images itself. So if you're ready, let me decode to you what is the result of your selection. Now, every card has a name. This presentation is inspired by the topic called Enneagram. So I wanted to decode everything, and hopefully at the end of the session, you get to know more about you and you get to know what kind of content will you create in the world of digital marketing. Now, did anybody choose this card? This is a grass cutting card. Whoever choose this card, it means to say that you are a perfectionist. You are a very perfectionistic person. You are very disciplined. Now, this is how you read this slide. The middle row are the objective words to describe you. The top one are the positive aspect of you. That means when people like you, they use those words. The bottom negative is when you don't have a good day, or when people have a negative perception about you, they will use such words. So if you are a perfectionist, on the one hand, you have a good eye for details, for mistakes, other people's mistakes, but you also can be very inflexible and very obsessive and very judgmental because you have very high standard and you think that the world needs you to set the standard. So for a person who is very high standard, this is how they behave at work. They are very dedicated, they're very reasonable. To them, there's no such thing as compromise. Everything is black and white, top or bottom, left or right. So what kind of digital storyteller will this person be? Now, when you look at yourself, now you have to ask, what kind of jobs do you think this person are very suitable to do? For example, compliance, all right, maybe policeman. But if you're a digital marketer, you will be very, very concerned about best practices, the right way to do certain things. You will be very concerned with methodology. What is the right way to approach this? You will be very concerned about the whole flow of the digital marketing process. You want to do things right. You want the best way. You want perfection. Nothing less than perfection will make you happy. So if you are a perfectionist in the midst here, you are someone who is very concerned about best practices, and that is good because we need people who are perfectionistic to have a very high standard on the yardstick of digital marketing. Okay, so if you've chosen the grass cutting card, and especially if that is your first card, it means that you have a very, very strong perfectionistic personality in you. So if you want to set a buyer persona, this is what you should be looking for. If you want to use this system to profile your buyer, all right, they are always leading by example and they hate to be criticized. They are very inflexible. When they selected something, it's very hard to change their mind. So very quickly, I want to go on to card number 2. If you have chosen this helper card, you are directly opposite of a perfectionist. You are called a type 2. All right. It means to say you are very people focused, you're compassionate, you're behind the scene, you're helpful, you just live for others, you're very selfless, you're the modern day Mother Teresa. Okay, but you have an issue as well. You just can't afford to say no to people. You have a hard time rejecting others. So you always have a need to be needed. You won't want to ask for help, and you just there for others. You're very attentive. So at work, this person can relate to people easily. They have a good sense of humor. They are warm, they're caring, and they're very suitable to be in the customer service sector. You always find these people in charity, in social work, because they live for others. They are very happy when they are needed. And the worst thing to tell them is, I don't need you. Okay, so if you are a helper, a type 2, what kind of digital marketer are you? You are very concerned about user experience. You are very concerned about how customers have a good time. You are also very good in drawing out buyer persona, and you are very good in crafting out strategy to retain customer. Now, we all know that it's easy to recruit, it's very difficult to retain. But if you are a helper, it is in your blood that you are able to connect with a lot of people. And if you use this to create your buyer persona, the buyer persona of your buyer are actually people who are very keen to recommend your product to others. All right, and of course, they want appreciation. Now, if you have chosen this third card, this number 3 card, this running card, this competitive guy, you are a person who is highly competitive and you put your self-esteem onto what you do. So on one hand, you will be competitive, flexible, and you know how to look good, you know how to leverage, you're a smooth operator. Other people might find you very defensive, lack of self-awareness, emotionally shut down, difficult to receive, and you really want the spotlight. So people like that, they have high motivation. They are usually found in sales, marketing, branding, PR, MC, anything that has a limelight. They love it. They are very energetic. They're very in the scene. They're very accomplished. You do not need to motivate them. They motivate you. So how are these people at work? They are very optimistic, very competent. They don't like small talk, very effective, very efficient. They know how to, they're highly capable. When they send you an email, they respect your reply within 12 hours. So if you are a digital marketer and you have this personality, you are very concerned about automation. You are very concerned about how do you make the best out of everything you have, how do you systemize everything, and you definitely love KPI. Other people may hate it, but you enjoy KPI because you want people to know how good you are. You are a natural person for advocating your product. You know how to be in the right place at the right time. You have two gifts. One is to make small things look big. That is marketing. Another one is to make big things look small. That is crisis management. So I know this guy very well because I am also one of them. I am a type 3, right? So it's very interesting. And please remember your 3 number that you just chosen because I am going to tell you what's my number. This is my number. I am 3, all right? I am first and foremost a achiever, all right? So let's go on. So if you are using this system to have a buyer persona, your customer will be just going after success. Success is everything to them. So anything that looks good on them, they will buy it. Now, if you have chosen this crayon card, you are very creative. You are the most emotional. You want it to be different. You're self-absorbed. You're a dreamer. You're a fantasy. You love aesthetic. You're inspiring, intuitive. But sometimes you also have a tendency to be self-destructing. Life to you is a drama because you always get in the narrative of telling your own story and you want to be different. You want to break all the rules. If the event is a black tie and you will come with turtleneck and you just want to be different from the rest. So at work, you are highly intuitive, very, very deep, feel very deep emotionally, and you want people to appreciate your skill sets, your gift in life. So you can always produce the wow factor and it's amazing, isn't it? The world needs these people. And who are these people? Steve Jobs is one of them. Michael Jackson is another one. The world needs them. If you like them, they are gifted, they're creative. If you don't like them, they are maybe a weirdo. All right. The last one, the top 3. People who are very famous like Oprah, Bill Clinton, they know how to package themselves. So they are examples of the top 3. Now, if you are a type 4, if you are someone who is a digital marketer, you will be very good in digital storytelling, personal branding, and user interface because you love to create the visual, the aesthetic, and that is the good thing about you. You are the most excellent and creative storyteller. Now, if you use this to build a buyer persona, you'll be looking at people who just enjoy being a VIP. So as long as you treat as a VIP, you got him right in the back. He is someone who just do not want to be ordinary. Now, very quickly, we go on to type 5. If you have chosen Sherlock Holmes' mysterious card, you are someone directly opposite. You are someone who enjoy using your mind. You are someone who enjoy acquiring knowledge. You always tell yourself that you do not know enough. You may be quiet, but you're just absorbing knowledge. In a meeting for 3 hours, you can sit there for 3 hours and not talk, but you are absorbing knowledge. You have a different definition of ASAP. To you, ASAP is not as soon as possible. It is as slow as possible. You love to have time and space to process information. Other people might mistake you as antisocial, but you are just very investigative. You are the best person to ask for a third-party perspective. So how are you at work? You are very calm, very cool, very collected, very objective, very perspective. You are the guru. You love data. So if you're a statistician, analyst, researcher, scientist, engineer, good on you. Because all this work, all these jobs really requires an observer, type 5. So if you are a digital marketer and you have this type 5 personality, the observer, you are very good at research. keyword research, SEO, SEM. You're very good with analysis. You are also very good in reading all data to predict the trend. So research is your game. And people need to respect you because this is where you thrive. You are very good in finding out big data and you're a very good data scientist. So this is interesting about type 5 because if you use this to profile your buyer, they often like to be invisible. Sounds like a university professor, right? I know there are a lot of us in our midst. They do not like to be outstanding. They like to blend in, and they are very slow decision maker. So they need to analyze, and they've done a lot of homework. One of the ways to build rapport with them is to do your homework and make sure you know what you're talking about. Very quickly, I want to talk about type 6, the teamwork card. Anyone type 6? Anybody type 6? Okay, if you are type 6, congratulations. You are the most complicated type of all. You are a loyal skeptic or a skeptical loyalist. All right, because on the one hand, you are very engaging, very faithful, very independent. You enjoy routine. You're very contented. You're accountable. You're committed. You are a team player, but you're also indecisive, and you are the devil's advocate because in your life probably you lack of trust and security. So to you, you have one plan A, plenty of plan B, all right? And you are like basically a zebra looking for a lion because unless the lion appear, you won't run. But when the lion hasn't appeared, you won't run as well. So that is the thing. On one hand, you enjoy routine. So you are basically the worst partner to have free and easy travel with because you always need to have a plan. You feel secure, you enjoy routine, and you're probably the long service award winner in your company. So at work, a loyalist are usually faithful, responsible, all the good things. All right, they're very, very good follower. Now, what happens if you are a digital marketer? You'll be thinking about privacy policies, and you are excellent in coming up with checklists. Why? To you, trial run and rehearsals are very important. You want security, right? You do not want surprises. You want to make sure you have everything covered. So you are excellent for this job. You are a team player and the team needs you, if you are a digital marketer, to take care of privacy because it's about feeling secure. So when you want security, you want the same for others as well. Now, loyalists as a persona, it's really about going with the majority, and this is the easiest to sell. Now, people who enjoy routine, all right, they are the easiest to sell to. Anything that works, all right, they are the most faithful customer. So they do not want to be different, and the worst thing they have in life is managing change and disruption. They don't like surprises. Now, number 7, I wonder how many of you choose this adventurous card. If you remember just now I typed 378, this is my second card. I am type 7 as well. I'm the most happy-go-lucky person you can find. I'm spontaneous, versatile. I see the big picture. I'm easily excited. I'm very flexible. I enjoy options. I'm experiential. I'm entertaining. I'm talkative. I'm carefree. However, people may find me hyperactive or worse still superficial because I'm always on the go. My favorite 4-letter word is next. I lack focus sometimes. I can start something today and cannot finish tomorrow. So people may look at me as somebody who is not attentive and pleasure seeking. But the world needs me because I am the one who can make tough work fun. And my favorite 4-letter word is next. Because I'm a risk taker. And I'm spontaneous, I'm free spirit. So the world enjoy people who have high energy. So if you're a digital marketer, you're probably a very good multitasker. You like anything short-term, advertising, event marketing, influencer marketing, they are all right up your alley. Why? They are all short-term. You do not thrive on anything that's long-term. So you prefer multiple short-term projects in order to be outstanding. So if you're a digital marketer, these are the things that you are very good at. And if you want to build a buyer persona around it, as long as you make people happy, you know that the objective of your customers is to be happy, is to have fun and not get bored. Keep their focus on, and that is where you need them to be. This is a very powerful tool for profiling our buyer. So far I talked about 7. There are 2 ways to learn. One is to see where am I in here, and what and how do I do what I do, why do I do what I do, and you can also use the system to profile your buyer persona. Now, very quickly, I want to talk about this. Who has chosen this type 8, this strong man's card? Well, if you've chosen this, congratulations. You are Donald Trump in disguise. You're just direct, straightforward. You get things done. You're a pioneer. You take initiative. No sugarcoating. People may not even like you because you talk in their face, but you're really just want to get things done. And because you want to take charge, a lot of people misunderstand. You're not. In fact, you're a marshmallow. You are like a marshmallow wrapped around by barbed wire. To outsiders, you're strong, but to the people you love, you are very, very nice actually. So, at work, you are someone who meet challenges head on. You are direct, you're honest, and when you give a feedback, you just say it as it is. People appreciate your honesty. You enjoy people who are independent, and when people have something to say, you're willing to hear it. Unfortunately, all these people become the head of our organization. All right, they may be introvert, but they are very, very forceful. So, if you are a marketer, you are very concerned about new challenges. You are very concerned about KPI, and you have no qualm doing something new, something that no one has ever done before. You will be there because you just love to do something different. So if you want to use this to build a buyer persona, the customers you're looking at are always challenging. They do not want to be mediocre. They have a challenge conforming to the world. They want to do things differently. So you have to ensure that such customer when you're ready for them, you must be firm because they like you to be firm as well. Now, the very last one, peacemaker. This is a type 9 peacemaker. They are the Nelson Mandela of our world. You are easygoing, unpretentious, unassuming, gentle, patient, very, very mild-tempered, accommodating, peaceful. You're an excellent negotiator. You love to collect consensus and you go with the flow. But people who don't like you maybe feel that you are very disengaged, you're stubborn, you're oblivious, you are procrastinating, and you're even lazy, right? But it is not true. The reason why you delay making a decision is because you do not want conflict. And that is where we have a problem. Because at work you are very non-judgmental. All right, you prefer people to approach you gently. So how people talk to you is more important than what they are saying to you. So you are a very good roundtable facilitator and meditator. You can see everyone's perspective, right? So if you are a digital marketer and you're a peacemaker, you are very good with coming up with all sorts of metrics. You'll probably be very good at being a community manager. So, and what kind of jobs do they thrive in? Now, almost everything, because peacemaker is the final destination of where we need to be. Now, for the last 20 minutes, I've been talking about personality. Now, what am I going after? Remember just now, you have 3 numbers. Now, this is what I need to show you. The first number, it's a personality type that is obvious to many. Everyone can see that you are that type, regardless of whether they know you for a long time or not. The middle number, it's only known to a few, and that is how you brand the first number. So, for example, you are 258, you are a very analytical helper. All right. Okay. Now, the last number means that number will only surface when there's a crisis, when you are challenged, and when you need to make a very, very important decision. That personality type will surface. So it's very amazing that our personality can tell us a lot more things about ourselves. Experts have said that personality is a wall we build since young to protect ourselves from the deepest hurt that we have. So to a certain extent, I agree that is true. So I want to share to you a few more things and I'll end for some Q&A. Just now, the cards that I arranged for you are actually coded. So the left column is about feeling, the center is about thinking, the right is about action. So if your first card comes from feeling, it simply means that you are an emotional person rather than a thinking person. If your first card comes from thinking, you are more of a rational person than a feeling person. Now, if your first number comes from the action column, you are a gut feel person because between the head and the heart is the gut. So you're at high rate. Now, where am I leading all this to? I want to highlight something to you. Do you want to know your social style? Okay, so let me give it to you right now. If you have anything about 4, 5, and 9, 2 or 3 of this card, you are very withdrawn. You prefer not to be social. All right, you really want to avoid it. But if you are 2, 6, or 1, or any of these 3, you are very compliant. When someone initiates, you do not mind tagging along. All right. Now, if you are 3, 7, and 8, or you have 2 out of 3 of this, for myself, I'm 3, 7, 8. I'm triple assertive. I go out all the way out to get what I want, and that is my social style. So it's very important to know how you build rapport with people around you. Now, do you want to know what is a conflict style? Do you know what you do when you don't get what you want? So, if you are 3, 5, and 1, or 1, 3, 5, you are very competent. You just go out and manage conflict. A 1 manage a conflict by being right. A 3 manage conflict by being flexible. A 5 manage conflict by being analytical. Now, if you have 2, 7, 9, can you just type it onto the chat? Because people should marry you. 2, 7, 9 if you have 3 cards together, 2, 7, 9, 9, 7, 2, 2, 9, 7, you are a hyper positive person. Why? Because you have all the right tools in the world to avoid any conflict. A 2, help people to see where the conflict is. A 7 will just move on. All right. A 9 will just be a peacemaker. So if you have all these 3 together, you are very positive. Now you have 4, 6, and 8. I have not so good news about this, because a 4 will react, a 6 will react, an 8 will react. A 4 react by being a drama king. A 6 react by fearing that more disaster will come along the way. And an 8 will take revenge on you because you dare to challenge them. You dare to have a conflict with them. So in conclusion, I just want to share to you that whatever I'm sharing is inspired by this topic called Enneagram. All right. Enneagram. Enneagram. Enneagram is Anna is 9, gram is type. This is not the satanic symbol. This is the Star of David. This is where the study of Enneagram, all right, will illuminate your mind about personality, about life, and about how you should evolve. It also tells you who you need in life to be more successful. And lastly, I must say, we all marry our opposites, all right? Because opposites, in short, I just want to recap this 3 points. Your personality determines how you look at the world in marketing, all right? Every one of our world is different. So when your world is different, you look at digital marketing very differently. And your personality determines how you react to a specific situation when marketing fails. And that is important because when something fails, a perfectionist will want to nail the person who is responsible. When something fails, a helper will want to help people to go through the crisis. So we all react differently based on the same thing. So isn't it amazing that we need to hire people in the right team? Last but not least, we need to understand that over time, our personality help us understand how we adjust to our buying decision. It's very important how we adjust to our buying decision over time. Because for example, I'm a 3, I'm a performer, I buy because something makes me look good. I need that to enhance my image. So I go for it, right? So I hope you have a lot of value from this presentation, and please keep in touch. My handle is Ideas Andrew. I'm so sorry some of the things didn't come out right. Ideas Andrew, you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Please connect with me. And if you have any question, please just share it here and I will try my best.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Andrew Chow. I have found out what type of digital storyteller I could be, and I also hope the online participants also would find out in which part they are in digital storyteller. So thank you, Mr. Andrew, for giving us such a notable information session in the 3rd day of the conference. So online participant, right now it's the time for you to ask any other queries regarding this digital storyteller in the what you're in the digital marketing. So here comes a question, Mr. Andrew. So what is the future of digital marketing, AI, AR, and analytics?
What is the future of digital marketing in AI? AI and analytics. Okay. I think the future of AI will definitely be the next wave to eliminate a lot of jobs. I think AI will come to a stage now. I may sound very scary. I think a lot of customer service may not be needed. A lot of counselors in universities may not be needed for the university enrollment. A lot of jobs will be gone because um, in fact, right now, if you think that you have a job that may be obsolete, it's time to learn AI to transfer the knowledge into artificial intelligence. You should be managing AI. You should be contributing to AI. So that is the future that I see. A lot of jobs will be gone, and it is not just social media. I think today it will affect e-commerce. It will affect retail. It just affects the whole way how we do transaction in the first place. And analytics about the future without collecting data. I think we need to inculcate a habit of doing monitoring. I think a lot of companies are not doing enough monitoring. Therefore, they don't have enough data, and therefore they can't see the future. And when you can see a trend and you leverage on it, you're already slow because companies who are at the top of the curve, the early adopters, they are the ones setting the trend. They are the ones predicting a trend. So anyone that the top 2-3% who get it started will be the winner. And by the time you come analytics, you are already slow.
Okay,
So
so
if you can
here comes up the Michael is from the second question. He asked for the story telling helps you to generate leads to your business.
okay. So I need to know my target audience and different storytelling. Uh, Today is really about story. People are very fascinated about story, even though you know that the formula of story it's always about the hero solving a problem. All right, a lot of brands do it this way. When they have a storytelling, when they do storytelling in branding, they always make themselves as a hero. Now, I like you to flip the mind to the other way. You should put your customer as the hero in storytelling. It is only when the customer or the prospect or your leads see themselves in your story as the hero that the connection begins. So if you want to do digital storytelling, make sure that you involve your target audience and make them the superhero, not you yourself. All right. So the more you can do that, the better you can captivate the audience. And today, storytelling is just generic. Today we use VR, we use AR. You know, there's so much technology that can do your storytelling, but not all are applicable to everyone. You have to select which platform is the best for you. For example, Nike has always been doing storytelling about honoring sportsmanship, right? They're always inspiring, and all they need to do is to do video and, of course, um, motivation poster. But I think even they are going into 360 video. So if we do 360 video storytelling,
Yeah.
you will be
So
able
here
to
comes
very
the second another two questions with the participants, Mr. Andrew. So Monisha asks like how storytelling differs from one media to another. Will same story works over everywhere in every media? He asked for.
Okay, the same story works in every media, but you have to tell the story differently. So when if you have a lot of details, if you have a lot of emotions, it's good to use video. If you want if you want to leave a soundbite or a very powerful keynote, I think uh, I think a short tweak would be powerful enough. So it depends on the resolution of details you want to give. So for example, I do a video, all right, for Facebook, and I do another video more elaborative. The same thing on YouTube is different, right? And I have a 15-second trailer on Instagram to lead people through my main video on YouTube or on Facebook. So you have to tell the story differently, both in terms of depth, width, and duration. So it depends on how good the storytelling is. All right, and of course it depends on the storyteller. Uh, you have to understand the platform, and most importantly, you have to understand how the user consume information and content. So know your audience, know where they are, and tell the story.
Okay,
I think
so here
you can
Daryl asked for the next question. So what are the right ways to do effective storytelling?
What are the right ways to effective story? I think it's really about answering the what, the why, the how, and the what. I think explaining the why is very important. When you know your why, the how come naturally. People need to know the reason why I need to listen to you, the reason why I need to be there, the reason why I need to be successful, the reason why I need you. You have to affirm and you have to captivate the audience attention on the why. The reason why they do what they do is important. The reason why you exist. So for example, all our mission and vision statement, it's about why we exist. How do we see the future? And what do we need to do to reach our future? And the core values is how do we really conduct ourselves to reach the end goal? So these are the effective ways to do digital storytelling. And sometimes we need to inspire others by curating other similar stories, all right, to show that, hey, we're not the only one. There are a lot of people who are on board as well. So people can do that really, all right, embrace the community into their user
Okay,
generation.
so here you are being piled up with the next questions also with Monisha. That is your biggest storytelling challenges so far. Any real-time case available? So and how it could be applied in storytelling for pharma industry.
Okay, I don't have any example, but the I think the most challenging digital storytelling uh, obstacle I face is how do I get the emotional touch point? Because stories are meant to be emotional. Stories are not meant to be intellectual. So you must be able to capture the target audience emotions. What emotions do you want them to arrive at? And that is very difficult. You know something, it's very easy to make someone cry, but it's not easy to make someone laugh, for example. It's not easy to make someone believe and be motivated. So, uh, touching stories are great, but it's about emotions. It's about understanding emotion. It's about understanding the personality of your target audience. So, for example, I always remember the case study of the tissue paper. You know, the entire short movie is about the story of a nurse. All right, uh, she's the hospital tell the story on her behalf that all the babies that were delivered through her hands in the in the operating theater when they're 30 years old, they all send videos to her, they appreciate her, and she started crying. All right, so it's a touching moment, and she reached out to take a piece of tissue paper, and guess what? The brand of the tissue paper is actually in her hand. Now, I thought that was a very emotional uh, scene, but there is a mismatch in the story. How would how would this grown up really remember that she's the nurse that helps to deliver them? All right. So while the story may be emotional, it doesn't really make sense. All right. There is a lot of disconnect in the story itself, but people buy it because of the right emotions. So it may not even be logical, but if it is emotional enough, all right, it hit the right note, people will still accept it. So yeah, so a lot of times brands
Okay.
fail to tell a
Yeah.
story because they fail to
That's what
connect
like
emotion.
Monisha has been asked for pharma and how to apply the storytelling for pharma industries also in social media marketing.
Pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so you can think about the okay, I'm going to be creative and tell you different techniques. I'm not going to tell you the blood pressure, but if I were you, I would tell a story where if imagine we do not exist, what would the world have become in the last 20 years? So that is one. All right. Had we not exist in the marketplace, what would the world be today? Now that is powerful because you're talking about the past, right? So you are making people appreciate whatever you have contributed. Now, when people believe that you have contributed in the last 20 years, do you think that they will believe you can create a better difference or a bigger difference in the next 20 years? So do not just talk about the future, you can talk about your past, but talk about the past in a very, very discreet manner. Imagine we had not been around in the last 20 years, right? Okay. Now, you can also do digital storytelling in the pharma industry by doing this, right? Now, you can compare the speed of efficacy from the pharmaceutical industry to alternate healing, to alternate means. You can compare the two, right? And that appeals to logical mind. Okay, so one is proven track record, and another one is trial and error. So that's another way you can do storytelling. All right. Now, in many countries, you have privacy issues, so you do not encourage people who have been successful using your own drugs to come forward to share. All right. I think that is big cliche, and I think doctors are the worst people that you can invite to tell your story. Okay, it must be told from the brand perspective. The brand must be a person, so you can actually personify the brand from young to middle age. What have you done so far? So that is better received than a brand achieving A, B, C, D, E. So imagine you are brand X, you are vitamin brand X. All right, when you're 5 years old, you did this. When you're a teenager at 15, you did this. When you're an adult at 30 years old, you have done this. Now, that is another way of sharing your achievement. So I've shared to you 3 things that you can do to better tell your story.
So here comes the last question from the online participant, that is whether the storytelling emotional is enough or logic is more important.
Okay, it become emotional is more important. Do you know why? Social media marketing is an emotional place. Okay, if you want to be logical, you should use white paper. You should have event marketing like conferences. These are platforms for logical minds. Okay, maybe for B2B, you need to be more intellectual and logical. For B2C, you need to be more emotional. Because the more emotional a story is, the better you'll be remembered. All right, and I said before, social media is an emotional place. Did you realize that on social media, when someone is angry or sad, they write very well, but when they're happy, they don't write so well. All right. So this proof a point that being emotional.
Okay. So online participants are piled up with the some other questions also, so that will be noted. So Mr. Andrew, kindly please make a note of your official mail ID, so that online participants can, if there are any other queries in person, they can ask for you, and then they clarify with regarding the digital storytelling in the digital marketing scenarios, so that they would. Okay. Yeah. Sure. You can share your mail ID.
Yeah, I'm going to leave my email here.
Sure.
Yeah, so they can email me.
Yeah. Okay, Chow. Andrew Chow, that's a great session with you.